All right, big news in the NHL. Jim Montgomery let go by the Bruins. 5 days later, lands with the St. Louis Blues and signs a 5-year extension. This is what's interesting is that he also joins, he'll lead a staff now. Claude Julien is an assistant on the Blues. Claude Julien, obviously, previously the head coach for the Bruins. And this is now the last 3 coaches for the Bruins. Claude Julien, fired by the Bruins, signed by the Canadiens 7 days later. Bruce Cassidy, fired in June by the Bruins, hired by the Vegas Knights just a few days later in June. Now Jim Montgomery finding a job right away. The NHL is so interesting. It's such a retread of the same head coaches.
Yeah, it
Wherever
is.
you go across the league, it's not a lot of resurgent, like young up-and-comers. It's the same guys going to all the teams around the league. This was still a Bruins team we saw underperforming, and they've done better under Joe Sacco the 2 games since he's taken over. We'll get to that. I'm not surprised Montgomery landed on a spot this quick. I'm kind of surprised how quickly they came to an agreement on an extension. But Don Sweeney even said himself when at his presser of, how they try to work, get an extension done. And he basically said, we just couldn't get the offer that Montgomery wanted. We entered in extension talks. We couldn't find a deal based on what we offered. Jim Montgomery now in St. Louis signs the extension. What were you thinking when you saw this unfold?
I was not shocked in a second. In fact, when he got let go, I said, well, he's going to get it. He's going to get a job in 2 seconds before you can blink. So I wasn't shocked at all. I mean, I think it's good business by the Blues. By the way, they're not the worst hockey team I've ever seen. I mean, look, the Western Conference is just loaded. We know that.
Yeah.
But, I don't know if I would certainly bet on them this season for it to happen that fast.
Yeah.
They're in Madison Square Garden tonight taking on the Rangers. Good luck. Okay, how's you lose sound? But, as the season goes on, he'll improve them. What they likely need, because they don't have a ton of talent there.
Yeah.
They need a very good offseason. But I would be willing to bet if the Blues have a decent offseason, they're going to be in the thick of it next season in terms of wild card and just improving. I think it's a great move for their franchise. And I think him getting hired did not shock me. Him getting an extension didn't shock me. But it was good business on both ends for the Blues. Just like as I've said from the beginning consistently, I think it was good business for the Bruins to move off of him.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the worst coach I've ever seen, but I understood it was time to move on and get a new voice. And clearly, whatever Jim Montgomery was doing here had gone stale. We saw some of the theatrics on the sidelines with players. The message was not resonating. We said that as the season went on. Then we said that at the time he was dismissed. So I got it. And by the way, Joe Sacco's doing a fine job. They're
2-0 with them.
What are they doing, though, in that 2-0?
1-0 win, 2-1 win.
It's fundamentals. It's defense. They're better on the power play. Couldn't get much worse. I mean, it's fundamental stuff. It's almost like they went back to the basics.
Yeah.
Great. Well, Montgomery, I think, can go to the Blues and build it how he wants to build it. He's going to have a much longer leash there, a longer runway. It's not going to be the same pressure as it is in a Boston with this franchise, with this brand, in this town where you got to win championships.
Yeah.
Hell, in St. Louis, he'll be there the length of that contract, and I imagine by the end of it, the Blues will be in a much better place.
They don't play St. Louis the rest of the season. Such a disappointment.
Oh, they already play. Okay, well, yeah. We'll see them
the
next
Blues
season.
won 3-2 over. Yeah, but you want to see that this season.
Yeah,
but you want to see that.
Actually, next season will be better because, like I said, I think the Blues will be better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it'll be a juicy storyline, but it'll also make for a better hockey game next season.
What's wild is that the Bruins extended their coach this last May, Drew Bannister. Montgomery hits a market. They fire Drew Bannister.
You mean the Blues extended?
The Blues did.
Yeah.
Extended Bannister.
Yeah.
Back last May.
Right.
Fire him, hire Jim Montgomery.
That's good
20
business.
games into their season.
But see,
it's a good
I
move by
respect
the Blues.
that. Yes.
It's just the NHL is such
crazy.
an anomaly of a
I
league
know.
and a sport.
I respect that.
They run back all the same head coaches. They run through them, bring them back no matter what.
That's
like
right.
Tortorello down in Philly.
Yep.
And then they do stuff like this. Like you extend a guy, fire him, who cares? bring in a guy,
Yep.
and within him being in your doorstep for 2 hours, you sign him to a 5-year extension.
Look, Robert Kraft should have listened to you because you were saying from the beginning, Mike Vrabel's right there. I mean, this is what happens. Great franchises, good franchises, well-run franchises. If you feel as though you can make an upgrade, George, why the hell wouldn't you? Hey, we know we gave you an extension. Sorry. Beat it. This guy's better. It's how it is. And you write the check, and the guy you fire's bummed out, but at least he's rich.
It's like, and what's good is that you see, and true, it's like a win-win for everyone. Like if Sacco continues this run, the Bruins in the uptick with their talent level and just winning with defense, it's fine. Just win.
It's fundamentals.
Don't care.
Baby.
You don't have
That's
to win
it.
5-2.
That's right.
You're winning. Exactly. Where it's a Korpisalo start and a Jeremy Swayman start too in those 2 wins. That's what's big is both goalies getting same production.
That's right.
Same play in front of them. Just a 2-game sample size, so really small.
Yeah.
But the fact you're getting this immediate production
Yep.
and some key offseason signings, like Nikita Zadorov, looked awful. Last 2 games, looking good. Like Jeremy Swayman was playing bad. All of a sudden, it's 1 win. I'm trying not to overreact.
It's okay.
But
You
if the
can
trajectory
overreact.
continues
You can overreact.
in the Bruins' favor, thank you. If that continues, then good for Jim Montgomery landing right away, getting this long-term, which he wanted.
Yeah.
Because as Don Sweeney said, like, try to make an extension happen. There were talks, but we couldn't get anything with the offers we had in place for him to accept it. Lands in St. Louis and gets the extension right away. It's interesting.
I'm telling you, he's going to turn them around. You watch.
The Blues, what you get with them, it's so early in the season too, but that's a team in themselves. Like 9-12-1. They needed the head coaching change themselves.
Yeah.
And this is more of a long-term play by them, which is smart. Let's get the guy now. Let's not play games.
Yeah.
Let's get him the extension right away, too.
And he has a certain style of teams that he likes. So they'll be able to build it in his likeness, and then we'll see what happens. You know what would be awesome? A Bruins-Blues Stanley Cup final.
Too soon? No, it's not too soon.
No. Well, I was going to say, but this time the Bruins actually win it.
Game 7 at home.
I don't even want it to go
Redemption
7.
Redemption all around.
Can you imagine being in a game 7 against that damn team? Everyone would just it would be too much. You got to knock them off in 5 or 6. You can't let it go 7. It's still too much pain there. A game 7 against the Bruins game 7 Stanley Cup final. You can't have that. You can't have it.
Longer we saw playoff series go with Jim Montgomery on the bench. It's not like it got any better either.
That's true. I think you got to knock them off in 5 or 6 games. But I tell you this, I would bet on the Bruins being there before the Blues. I think it's going to take him a while.
Oh my gosh, with this roster. And that's again why the Bruins had to move so quickly this early in the season. You just signed the goalie.
That's right.
You have Marchand, McAvoy, Pasternak, now Lindholm, now Zadorov, now the other Lindholm.
That's right.
The young guys coming up. Can you get depth scoring on your wings? Can you get the blue line to play together?
Yep.
And can your goalies be consistent? And Jeremy Swayman needs to play at that elite, top 5, top 3 level.
Yep.
Can you make that happen? You paid for it. You set everything aside. You lined it up to make it happen. Can you do it now? That's why they did it.
I agree. Now, look, we saw Cassidy go elsewhere and have success immediately. We're not going to see immediate success here with Montgomery.
No,
I'm
the
willing to
roster
bet
is further
that.
away from that.
I'm willing to bet that.
Good for him to land in St. Louis, though. Hey, he's Travis Thomas. I'm George Balekji. This was Boston, his editor of the chat. Appreciate you guys making us a part of your day. Wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple, Amazon Prime. Please like, subscribe, download, rate, and review. Make sure to tweet at us, #NessenChat. Email us, thechat@nessen.com. New episodes dropping every Monday through Friday. He's Double T. I'm GB. See you guys next time. Have a good one.